So today, we have such an exciting episode. We're making a delicious rice dish from the beautiful province of Alicante, which happens to be where my father was born, that passed away many years ago. So this recipe, I keep very close to my heart. We're talking Arroz a Banda. And let me tell you, this very simple seafood rice packs an insane amount of flavors to it. It's so much easier to make than a paella, and it's all done in just 40 minutes from start to finish. Folks serve the seafood rice next to a simple salad, a crunchy baguette, and a bottle of Spanish wine, either red or white, from the wine region of Alicante. You're gonna have yourself an instant trip to the Spanish Mediterranean coast. All right, let's begin by getting our ingredients ready. I'm gonna roughly chop 5 cloves of garlic, finely grate 2 tomatoes, cut 1 large tube of squid into small bite-sized pieces. The tube of squid I'm using, I bought frozen, thawed out, and patted dry. If you can't find these at your local market, check with an Asian supermarket, as they typically have them in the freezer department. And if you can't find squid at all in your area, you can just substitute it for scallops. And we'll cut 12 raw jumbo shrimp that have been peeled and deveined, each one to small bite-sized pieces. The shrimp that I'm using, just like the squid, I bought frozen, thawed out, and patted dry beforehand. For the next step, I'm going to grab a paella pan, heat it with a medium heat. The size of the pan that I'm using is 12 inches in diameter, which is 30 centimeters, perfect for 2 to 3 servings. And I'm going to add in a 1/4 cup of extra virgin olive oil, which is 60 milliliters. Once the olive oil is nice and hot, but it's not smoking, I'm going to season it with a little sea salt. And we'll add in the chopped squid and shrimp. And we'll mix the ingredients around, that way they're coated in that olive oil, and it's important to mix this continuously, that way all the seafood evenly sautés. After about 1 to 2 minutes, and the squid and shrimp are lightly sautéed, you don't want to brown these ingredients, I'm going to add in the chopped garlic. And we'll continue to mix this together and go for about 30 seconds to 1 minute. After about 1 minute, and that garlic is lightly sautéed and nice and fragrant, I'm going to add in 1 teaspoon of sweet smoked Spanish paprika, which is about 2.5 grams. And we'll give it a quick mix, that way that paprika is evenly coating all the ingredients. As always, the Spanish paprika that I'm using is from Kiva. You'll find a link where you can get some in the description box below, and if you buy it from that link, you'll also get 25% off your order. Then we'll add in the grated tomato and season everything with sea salt. And we'll give it a mix until everything's well mixed together, and then simmer it for a couple minutes without mixing the mixture. After about 3 minutes, and the grated tomato has slightly thickened up, I'm going to add in 3 cups of fish broth, which is 720 milliliters. The fish broth is what gives this rice dish that incredible flavor. You'll find a link where you can get the Spanish fish broth I'm using for this recipe in the description box below. And we'll also pinch in a 1/4 teaspoon of saffron threads, which is 0.17 grams. Then we'll raise the heat to a medium-high heat. Give it a mix and bring the broth to a boil. The saffron I'm using is from Golden Saffron, in my opinion, one of the best saffrons out there. You'll find a link where you can get some in the description box below as well. Once the broth comes to a boil, it's time to add in the rice. I'm going to measure out 1 cup of Spanish round rice from Valencia, which is about 200 grams. If you can't find this type of rice in your area, you can substitute it for any type of short grain rice or even arborio rice, which is the one that's used to make risotto. And we'll add the rice into the pan. And we'll give this one final mix, that way that rice is evenly distributed. And just like a paella, after this step, you don't want to mix the rice again, otherwise it's going to start releasing its starch and lose its beautiful texture. And we're going to simmer this on a medium-high heat between 9 to 10 minutes, and once again, without mixing the ingredients. After about 9 to 10 minutes, and you can see a lot of that broth has been absorbed by the rice, but there's still some broth left in the pan. I'm going to lower it to a low-medium heat. And we're going to simmer this for another 4 to 5 minutes or until all that broth has been absorbed by the rice. After about 5 minutes, and there's virtually no broth left in the pan, it's time to achieve the socorat, which is that beautiful layer of caramelized burnt rice underneath. I'm going to hit this back to a medium heat, and we're going to go for about 2 to 3 minutes here. This is enough time to get that beautiful crispy rice underneath. Then we'll remove the paella pan from the heat, cover it with a dishcloth, and let it sit here for a couple minutes. And let me tell you, by trapping that steam in there, it's what's going to ensure that each grain of rice is perfectly cooked through. After a couple minutes, I'm going to uncover the pan, and we'll garnish it with a couple lemon wedges. Check it out, folks. Our Arroz Banda's done. A simple seafood rice dish from the beautiful province of Alicante. Easy to make, done in just 40 minutes, and the kind of dish that's packed with so much seafood goodness. Let's give it a try and see how it turned out. Once again, folks, Arroz Banda, truly one of my favorite rice dishes that hail from Spain. Here we go. Absolutely delicious. Like I told you at the beginning, it packs an insane amount of flavors, even though it's such a simple dish, and all the ingredients are beautifully cooked through. You know, I've made this rice dish before here on Spain on a Fork. It's one of my earlier videos, so this is an improved recipe, so much more flavor and easier to make. Once again, folks, serve this next to a crunchy baguette, a simple salad, and a bottle of Spanish wine. You're gonna have yourself an instant trip to beautiful España. Really quick before I go, shout out to a couple of my patrons, Adalai, Stephen Riggs, and John Kochanowski. And guys, thank you so much for being patrons of Spain on a Fork. You know how much I appreciate you. If you enjoyed today's video, hit that like button, leave me a comment below, and if you're not subscribed, don't forget to smash that subscribe button and click on the bell icon. That way you can get notified every time I release new content, and most importantly, to become a part of the Spain on a Fork family. Till the next time, hasta luego.